Death, taxes, and the Dallas Stars taking down their little brother from the north. The Stars tame the Wild by a final score of 5-2 and remain undefeated in the Glenn Gulutzan era.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. The Dallas Stars are 3-0 against Central Division opponents to kick off this season. They take down the Wild by a final score of 5-2 here on a Tuesday night. The game was a bit closer than the score, but also the Stars did a lot of great things in tonight's game. We're going to dive into everything on today's show, including a couple of clips that just fire me up. And we're going to debut a new segment. It's called Galaxy Grade. So you're going to want to stick around for that one. We're going to give some star rankings to certain Stars players here tonight. But the Stars take down Minnesota 5-2. They remain undefeated. We still continue to see Glenn Gulutzan's approach executed by Dallas. They have struggled to play with leads here in the early going. It would have helped out if they stayed out of the box, but some of the calls were a bit soft. I'll take some of them, and Dallas once again closes it out. More importantly, they closed out tonight. The Stars were by far the better team at 5-on-5. That's one of my bigger takeaways. And they shut down Minnesota in the final 4 minutes. They kept Minnesota to the outside. They gave up some looks, yes, but again, Dallas was able to shut them down, and they get 2 empty net goals. I predicted 4-2, ended up 5-2, and that's a win against a really good team on the second end of a back-to-back. They had really good legs, Minnesota did. They were fresh, which is to be expected, I guess, in the early going of a season, and Gustafsson held them in. The Stars just could not generate a forecheck in the third period. They have to find a way to rectify that. That's the second game in the first 3 where they have nice, comfortable leads. And I tweeted, are the Stars going to make this a third period boring? Are they going to make it boring? Well, they didn't. It's just the script's already written. The Stars are going to make things interesting, and the Wild get it within 1, but Dallas closes it out. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters at this point. They shut down Minnesota at 5-on-5. They were really good the first 2 periods. Minnesota came out hard and heavy. Jake was spectacular again. He faced 8 shots in the first 3 minutes. My goodness. And Dallas just gave Minnesota so much time and space and great looks in the middle of the slot. I was just cringing at the amount of opportunities Minnesota was getting in the early going. But this is where I'll give Gulutzan and the Stars a lot of credit. They made adjustments after that first 5-minute stretch to begin the hockey game. They made a lot of adjustments, and they really improved in the D zone. They deserve a lot of credit for that second period. Dallas just shut down Minnesota. And we talked about in the preview episode, can they shut down the big guns for Minnesota? They shut down Kaprizov. They shut down Boldy for the most part. I mean, the only offense Minnesota generated was on the power play. It's the only offense they got. If this game stays at 5-on-5, I think it's not even close. I know the score reflects 5-2, but of course it was 3-2 with 5 minutes to go. But that's the only offense Minnesota I felt like could generate consistently outside of the first 2.5 minutes of the first period, and they played really well to begin the third. I'll give them that. And credit to Minnesota. Like, they punched back, they responded, which you would expect, but Dallas has to clean up their third periods and just come out with more intensity. They are so passive. And that's what I saw early in the defensive zone, especially. They were so passive to telescope out and put pressure on Minnesota. And that's where I do give them credit for most of the first following that stretch. And the second, they really pressured Minnesota on the outside, and they forced them to make tough plays along the wall. And Minnesota just couldn't get interior. The Stars had great net front presence in front of their own net, clearing bodies out in front of Ottinger, and at the other end of the rink, getting bodies in front of Philip Gustafsson. And that was really important for Dallas. And something that I took away from tonight was the D zone looked more, I would say, trying to think of a good adjective, but it feels like it's more sustainable is what I'll say, because they were actually going out pressuring Minnesota on the outside of the rink instead of just letting them do whatever they wanted. And then that turned into turnovers, and that turned into opportunities up the ice for Dallas. And they got up 3-0, and it was a really cool and breezy 3-0. Like Dallas just went on the attack. Roope Hintz, my goodness, was flying around in the hockey game. Oh, he deserved a hat trick tonight. He gets an empty netter and a couple of helpers. Feels like he could have had 4 or 5 points in the game with how he played. He set up the Lindell goal. It's great work from the neutral ice. Miro, I don't know if he got a piece of it. They didn't give him an assist, but he comes up, pressures up the ice. He forces the puck back into the offensive zone. Hence just flying in with a little poke, and then he dishes off to Lindell, who buries it. The power play goal from Wyatt Johnston was just a thing of beauty. He just completely walks Middleton. Middleton broke his stick, and Johnston said, "I'm going to embarrass you on national television in front of everybody." And a couple of stick handles goes right around him, and then goes upstairs behind Gustafsson. Beautiful power play goal. And then in the second period, the Stars get a fortunate bounce off the shot from Duchesne. More of a centering pass that goes off the skate of Bogosian and past Gustafsson. We're going to talk about that Duchesne play and what I really liked about it on clips that fire me up in the next segment. So stick around for that. But this was a pretty complete game from Dallas in some ways. I just thought a lot of different bodies contributed in the contest. Stars made a lot of winning plays tonight. Again, they have to be better in the third period. We'll continue to beat that into a pulp. But there was just a lot of winning plays from Dallas throughout the night. And they made them late too. Even the empty netter goal for Foxa, that's a strong play by Robo. That's strong work in their D zone to get that puck out. It's a 6-on-5. Seguin works it up the wall. Robo, great pass to find Foxa, who was cutting, and the Stars are able to clean it up. And it comes on a shot. It's blocked. Seguin jumps on it, chips it out, and the Stars bury it. That's how you got to close out games. And the big boys from Minnesota are extremely good. And for the most part, again, I thought 97 was shut down for the first 2.5 minutes. 2.5 periods, really. I mean, of course, they score on the power play, but they're going to get their looks. But I thought 4 was excellent tonight. Miro was sensational. So was Lindell. That pairing, we talked about it. That is just a pairing of dreams. Them two, just shutting down Boldy and company. They did not give Kaprizov much. And if Kaprizov gets out of the game scoring a power play goal, you did good. You did really good. That's a really good power play. We talked about it coming in. They're number 1 in the league. They go 2 for 4 tonight. It's only 2 goals. You'll take that. And you take down Minnesota again. That's what the Dallas Stars do. Really, really love it. I thought there was a lot of good stuff. Just some of the numbers real quick. Scoring chances, 20-19 at 5-on-5 in favor of Dallas. The numbers don't bear that Dallas was way better, but you look at the quality of chances, I feel like at 5-on-5, Dallas looked like the better team. And Minnesota's not fully healthy. I get that, but I thought Dallas was the better team in the game. And maybe the numbers don't overwhelmingly affect that or show that. But just the eye test, I really like the way Dallas played. Tough, physical. Again, we'll get into some of that stuff that fired me up, and what Dallas did really, really well at tonight. And we're going to do that some more. We're going to show you a power play goal. Duchesne's. The goal's not pretty, but the entry on it was, and Esselindale just going boss mode. I want to show a couple plays from the start, shut down defense. We'll do that in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch can do the heavy lifting. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. You can maximize your investments, increase your savings rate, easily review finances with your partner or financial advisor. It's about having a clear view of your financial health. We're all looking for that nowadays. Financial health. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your year at monarchmoney.com. Use the code LOCKEDONNHL. This may be a reoccurring segment throughout the season. Clips that fire me up. I do want to give an honorable mention to a clip that fired me up that I don't have in this, but Alex Petrovic standing up for Matt Duchene. And it's something I didn't bring up yet. Duchene took a really nasty hit. Not nasty as in dirty, but just an open ice hit he wasn't expecting. And Middleton buried him. And Duchene went back to the locker room. He did not return to the bench. So we're still awaiting an update on Duchene. Maybe we'll get one here before the end of today's episode. I'll continue to watch the X feed. But Petrovic standing up for Duchene. That is a penalty I'll take 1,000 times. I know they got scored on it, but you stick up for your teammate there and you go after Middleton. It's sad the game is called to calling instigating penalties because right there, the game was policed. The game was policed perfectly. There's no reason to give Minnesota power play. It's mind-boggling. It's dumb. We can call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. It's a dumb penalty, not by Petrovic. It's just dumb that the NHL has come to this. The game policed itself. Petrovic went after him, stick up for his teammate. It's not like he mauled him. It's not like he sucker punched him. It was two consenting adults dropping the mitts. Credit to Middleton for dropping the mitts and answering. And they both answered. Middleton rocked Petrovic a couple of times, like completely bodied him. Who cares? They go their separate ways. Call 5 for fighting. Call it a day. To give teams penalty power plays for that is just absurd. So that's my soapbox rant. It's sad that we've come to this, and that's an instigating penalty. Come on. Anyways, outside of that. Okay, something I really like. Clips that fire me up. The Stars power play, which goes 2 for 4 tonight. Or not 2 for 4. Was it 2 for 4? Or did they go 2 for 3? 2 for 2. They went 2 for 2. Even better. 100%. But I really, really loved this entry from Dallas today. And Maverick Bourque makes this play. He picks up an assist. Man, Bourque makes so many small, minute plays, and it doesn't show up on the stat sheet enough, and it should. Gosh, he makes a lot of good plays. He's been really good to begin this year. But I love this because I feel like in years past, Dallas would have got clogged up on the sidewall here, not made a play. Let's go through it. As Duchene flies through, he makes this pass over to Bourque here on the near side. And I feel like in years past, Dallas immediately tries to force this pass back to the point to Thomas Harley here, who's trailing the play. But instead, Bourque hangs on to this puck. I love this. Bourque hangs onto the puck, eventually creates some space. He works it low. Instead of trying to force it back up high, he plays it low behind the net. Duchene is following it. Duchene will get there much better than Bogosian, works it back up high, and then the Stars go to work. They work the perimeter. Now they can spread out and set up. Bourque, another smart play here. Didn't like the look. Peels it back. Then the Stars get movement. Duchene comes from the very left side of the rink. Look at this play. Look at where Duchesne is now, top of the left circle. Bork works it back up high. Duchesne covers over. He kind of gets lost in the mix. They rotate. Then Bork's sort of in this bumper position. Duchesne has the puck. Now they have numbers at the net. I think that's Steele in front. Couple passes there. And then look at great position here by Steele. He totally has body position on Bogosian here. And then Duchesne can give it to him. He tried to center the pass. It ends up going off a skate. Yeah, it's a lucky play. But the Stars do this off the clean entry, and then Duchesne gets the fortuitous bounce. I love that from Bork here. We're going to go back to it to see the entry. He doesn't panic. He doesn't force a play. He just holds on to it. He knows he has the extra man, and then he makes a smart play, the safe play behind the net, and then the Stars go to work, and they end up with a power play goal. I just really love that from Bork. He picks up an assist on it, and he deserved it. And good job, going crazy there. But good job by Steele. He had net front positioning, and the Stars get it done. Love that one from the Stars power play, who goes 2 for 2 tonight. Now, the second one that fired me up. This has nothing to do with the goal or whatever, but this is just Esa Lindell. I call this clip Esa Lindell boss mode. Because he's just a complete boss. So here you go. Just single-handedly shuts down 2 entries here. This isn't the second period. We'll go back to the first one. Just bats it out of midair. This is Kaprizov trying to get it on the forecheck. He flips in from the red line. Esa Lindell goes, no, you don't got it. Shuts that one down. Then it turns in to Sam Steele going back up the ice. Here's Bork. His shot gets blocked, unfortunately, off the rush. And then it comes back the other way. Then Esa Lindell, again, yeah, thank you, Tarasenko. Your time has come. Boom. Rips it off his stick, and then Bork chips it in. Stars end up getting a change. Look, it's nothing insane, but just single-handedly just neutralizes 2 attacks. And this is what Esa Lindell does. This is Esa Lindell boss mode. I love this. Just 2 straight times. Boom. And it leads to Dallas going the other way. One led to a shot attempt. It got blocked. The other just leads to a change. And the Stars work in some fresh bodies, but that fired me up. Just watching that within 10 seconds of one another, that's just really good stuff. And him and Miro are just such a beauty of a pairing. Miro ended up with a good game score. Harley was up there, and Lindell, he got caught a little bit lower because he was on the ice for a couple of power play goals. But those are the type of small plays that you forget about in the game, and that's what this segment's going to be designed to. Trying to show some love to those plays that maybe you forget about in show. I apologize for those of you that are watching or listening, I should say, on audio only. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, by the way. Subscribe. We're over 4,500 subscribers, which is awesome. I want to get to 5,000 by the end of the year. I think we can do that. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Never miss an episode of Locked On Stars. Appreciate the love and support. But those are some clips that fire me up tonight watching the Wild. I'm giddy about the game. I really am. I know Dallas got, they got outshot 41-25. I take a lot of stock in what we saw at 5-on-5 and not so much about some of the penalties. Like the Ritskovian one, I'll live with too. I know they ended up killing that one off, but that's a penalty. Like Ritzy's battling. Yeah, he's got to learn. You can't wrap your arms around him. It's a penalty, but he's battling. Like I'll take that sometime. The Blackwell holding one was just whatever. I don't know. It was irritating. But Dallas they have to buckle up and kill off those penalties. They got to kill those ones. But I'll take that. Like Dallas is playing with an edge. The instigating one, who cares? Stand up for your guy. I know Lundqvist got one in the second period. That was, I don't know if he's going to do a better job of holding. If you're gonna, so there's some things to clean up. Yes, and again. After 2 periods, what you could not do, and this is part of the larger issue, what you could not do is give them life and give them opportunities. And that's what Dallas did. And I know I've said I'll live with some of those penalties, but at the same time, you can't give those team life. But you buried them when it mattered. You buried them, and that's 3-0. You'll take it. Central Division opponents, thanks for coming. Now you move on to Vancouver on Thursday. We're going to do some Galaxy grades, another debut segment. This is a fantastic episode of Locked On Stars today. Galaxy grades, I'll tell you how we're going to do it. It's going to be real simple, but a lot of fun. Sort of like 3 stars of the game, and we'll do that in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. New customers, pick a bet, put down $5. If it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. FanDuel gives you so many ways to play. Parlays. You have player props, live lines. It makes watching football even more exciting when you're watching the Cowboys, whether you're watching college football. It is so much fun to sprinkle a little money on the game you're watching. Just gives it a little extra jolt. And it's not just football, right? If you're a casual fan of hockey, of baseball, of soccer, you name it, you can do whatever. And just FanDuel gives you that opportunity. $5, your first $5 bet for new customers. If you win, $300 in bonus bets. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Galaxy Grades is a new segment, and we're going to do this after games. Maybe not every game, but every once in a while. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll just bring it back for every post-game, our game recap. And it's going to be like sort of a 3-star segment, but we're going to have your first star is going to be, we're going to call it a black hole. So maybe something that was negative, or maybe somebody that didn't show up. And it doesn't have to be a certain player. It can be a certain aspect of the Dallas Stars. And that can go for all 3. Your second one's going to be your shooting star, had a good game, maybe wasn't sustained. And then your third star, which I guess is your number 1. Yes. So make it backwards, but y'all get where I'm going with it. Your third is a supernova, somebody that exploded tonight. We're going to give out 3 grades to certain aspects of players, to certain aspects of the team, coaching staff, you name it. It can be stupid. So play along with me in the comments below. But we'll start with the black hole. What maybe disappeared? What wasn't too good for Dallas tonight? The black hole for tonight, it's got to be the PK. They go 2 for 4. Credit to Minnesota. They're hot. That's a really good unit, and they made them pay. But the PK and sort of the penalty trouble, I'll kind of lump that in. And again, I know I'll live with some of the penalties, but still, some of the holding minors, Dallas just has to be smarter. They have to be smarter, and you can't let teams in. Maybe just that third period where Dallas comes out with a lack of intensity. That's the black hole. No intensity, no forecheck in the third period. That's the black hole for Dallas tonight. And it needs to be fixed in a hurry, especially with these Stars fans. We're 3 games in. We can't have these heart attacks each and every night. And I say that knowing that it's just going to happen. That's just how it is. That's just how she goes with this Stars team. So that's my black hole of the night. Now, for the shooting star, I'm going to give the shooting star to Maverick Bourque. He only had the 1 assist. But as I said, he made so many good plays. He made a really strong play in the third period. I should have brought this clip up. I really should have. But it's late and I gotta go to bed. It was a rush for Minnesota, and Bourque was tracking back. I think it was a 3-2 game at this point. There was a I believe it was Boldy, could have been Erickson that threw a shot, sort of pass into the crease area towards the back door. From the right side, he was going to the far post. Kaprizov was racing to it. I think it went off a body in front, and Kaprizov was kind of flying in, trailing the play, looking for that loose puck, and Bourque lifted his stick, or it just like poked it out of his way, poked it to the corner, and just neutralized it. Like those are huge plays, and he makes so many of those throughout the night. And credit to him on that power play goal too for Dutchy. So. I'm going to give him the shooting star of the night. And then our supernova for our debut edition of Galaxy Grades, our supernova goes to none other than Roope Hintz. Oh, he was incredible tonight. He was flying around early. He creates the Lindell goal, picks up another helper on Johnston's power play, and then he He gets an empty netter for himself too, but he was spectacular. He looked so good tonight. He's looked good in general this season. He's playing with an edge. He's flying around, and he puts the opposition on their heels when he plays that way. He's so dangerous. And him with Robo and Ranson have looked really strong. I love how Goldson just trots them out. They need some offense. They get some offensive zone time, or they get a face-off. He trots them out there, and they go to work. A lot of different lines tonight, but the most time one line got was Hintz, Robo, Rantanen, just under 7 minutes. Steele played a lot with Roope and Mikko tonight. They were the second most used line at 537. So they got some work tonight too. Ritzkovian and Sagan Duchesne got some leeway too. It was good to see Ritzy get some more time here tonight. That Hintz line, they do so many good things. And they were good tonight. I'm curious the time on ice totals. I thought Ritzy was going to get double digits tonight. We'll see if he got there. I think he had to be close. He got 804. Okay, not great. I thought he would get to double digits tonight. But again, unfortunately, he ended up in the box. And penalties, again, for Dallas. That screwed him. If they played 5-on-5, I think he gets double digits tonight. So we didn't get to see Bastian a ton or Ritzkovian. But Supernova, again, Roope Hintz, phenomenal stuff from him. He's our supernova of the night for the Dallas Stars. A goal and 2 helpers. He ended up grading out the highest game score of the night. The Hockey Stat Card, 4.11 game score. So congratulations, Roope. You are the supernova of the night. Some other numbers to put it out there. So at 5-on-5, expected goals for 1.65 for Minnesota, 1.2 for Dallas. Look, that's just a good third period from Minnesota. But outside of that, they didn't get a ton. And I really like Dallas's game in this one. Look, they went up 3-0. They were the better team tonight. I think it showed. And credit to Minnesota. They're going to be a good team. Look, I'm high on them. But I thought Dallas deserved to win tonight. And they got the job done. So, heck yeah, baby. Stars will do it. Franchise record, by the way, the Stars scoring 5+ goals in 3 straight games to start the season. So that's good. So much for worrying about the offense with the departures of guys. They've looked okay here. And the power plays, doing well. Work in progress, but doing well. That's going to do it for today's show of Locked On Stars. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. We appreciate you for making us a part of your day. By the way, if you would like to listen to some more NHL hockey talk, go to NHL Game Night. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network. You can find it on YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcasts. They'll do breakdowns. I make an appearance every, once in a while, Blue Moon on there too. And they just, talk all the great games that happen throughout the night. So be sure to show them some love. Show me some love. We'd appreciate that. It's been a great start to the season. Stars are 3-0 against 3 Central Division opponents. They've been murky at times. Who cares? Don't worry about the negatives right now. We're going to rant. We're going to have issues in January. Right now, sunshines and rainbows, boys. Sunshines and rainbows. We're going to have some fun. All righty. Have a great rest of your day, Stars fans. Enjoy your Wednesday. We'll see you in the next episode. Ready to break down, preview Vancouver, and all the good stuff. We'll do that. And the next one. So long, Stars fans.